Today we're taking a look at the Senada Gladiator. It is a folding 20-inch cargo bike with some fat tires and a pretty awesome dual suspension that allows you to take it on a lot of different terrain. This bike is different than any other e-bike we've reviewed so far. Now, Chris and I both have had a chance to put this bike to the test. We're going to tell you what we like and what we don't like about the Gladiator, so stay tuned. First, this bike was incredibly easy to put together. It came mostly set up. You fold the bike flat, lock it in place, fold the handlebar stem up, lock that in place, install the handlebars. Now, Chris was putting this one together, and it took him a little long because he did it backwards first. I may or may not have done that before myself. Anyway, the pedals, then the seat. It's that easy, right? The wheels, the lights, the fenders, the kickstand. I've had to put those on other bikes in the past, and that can be a pain. Chris did it all without noting there were instructions. He found them after the fact.
Now the bike's built, finally found the directions.
Now, this bike is actually very intuitive to just turn on and start riding. Something else that we liked about it has pretty fast acceleration. It's definitely faster than some of our larger e-bikes. Chris and I did some drag racing when I was on this guy. I always won. Effectively, it's just kind of like being a lower gear because you've got the smaller wheel. It's fast. They say up to 28 miles an hour. Yeah, it's about 25-ish. You can get to 30 with some hard pedaling. It's convenient. I really like this bike. Now, they say it's built for someone between 5'2" and 6'2". I'm about 5'11". Chris is about 6'2", 6'3", and we both felt comfortable riding this bike. It's definitely a lot easier to handle than a full-size fat tire 26-inch bike. Those things are gigantic. They are super heavy. And this one even has a built-in handle in the front, right in front of the seat post. You can kind of grab it and move it around. That makes it a lot more portable than some of those bigger fat tire bikes, right? The handlebars fold down so you can throw it into a car really easily. You can even fold it in half. Just really nice and convenient. Kind of like maybe it's the sweet spot for e-bikes, especially if you want something with those fat tires. Now, it does have a full suspension, and it isn't necessarily designed as an off-road bike, but it definitely handles some bumps and some dirt pretty well. It's nice having suspension in the front and the back. It does have a headlight and a tail light, and the tail light does work as a brake light, so that's really convenient. It's nice to have that as a safety feature. I mentioned the bike rack before. It's nice, it's strong, it's sturdy. I love being able to just strap things back there, grab a couple of bungees, and you're good to go. Another thing that's really nice, and I don't understand why more e-bikes don't have this, you need a key to turn it on, right? Like you would a motorcycle or a car. And if you take that key with you, someone can't use your e-bike as an e-bike. They just would then have stolen a really, really heavy bike that they have to pedal. And who wants to pedal an e-bike if it's not electric? All right, so let's talk about some of the things we weren't a fan of. The brakes are not hydraulic. They're disc brakes, but because they're not hydraulic, they feel a little soft, so you're going to have to do some adjusting to get the power of braking that you're kind of used to. The buttons are hard to see initially, right? Like they're under the screen, under that LCD screen, so not a big deal, but you're going to have to note that before you kind of get going. Another minor thing, there's no torque sensor. So like most e-bikes in this price range, you get a little bit of that ghost pedaling, right? So if you're not ready for it, that can throw you off. And the acceleration might be a little bit too much for you. So don't start on 3, start on 1 or 2 and kind of work your way up. That combined with the ghost pedaling is something that some people aren't fans of. Or in the screen, there's nothing special about the screen. It's a little small, in super bright sunlight, maybe not the easiest to read. It just kind of has the things out there for you. Okay, so let's talk about some specs on this bike. Now, this bike is about $1,500. I'm actually looking at Senada's website right now, and it's on sale. If you buy a bike, you're going to at least $80 off. So there's that. Now, other specs that you want to know. We've got a 750-watt motor that is in the rear hub. The battery, it's a 48-volt, 15-amp-hour battery. Now, that's going to give you a range of up to 65 miles. That's if you're pedaling on a level to downhill surface perhaps. And if you're going to use the electric throttle, you can expect to cut that in half. Now, again, range is, that's going to vary, right? And you're probably not going to get either of those numbers, so just keep that in mind. Now, it says it'll carry up to 350 pounds, so that's a substantial load. That's rider and accessories. All right, so let's talk some dimensions. From the stem to the saddle, that's 27 inches. It has a 46.5-inch wheelbase and a total length of 70 inches. The height to the handlebars is about 44.5 inches, and the seat height is adjustable from 28 to almost 33 inches. Like I said before, they recommend it from people between 5'2 and 6'2. I'm in that range, and it worked well for me. Chris is at the top end, and it worked for him. Now, you do have those 3 pedal assist modes, and it will top out at 28 miles an hour. It's going to take you about 6 to 7 hours to charge this thing, and you do get a charger in the box. You also get like a little multi-tool to help you assemble it and to keep it, maybe in a bag in case you need it while you're on the road. Now, I did say I like this bike because it's kind of in the middle of the road. It's roughly about 70 pounds, which sounds heavy, but for a fat tire bike, that's not terrible. Okay, so let me just wrap up my summary and my thoughts on the Senada. It is maybe the ultimate practical e-bike. It's really easy to set up. It has all the important features you're looking for: a rack, fenders, lights, dual suspension. It's fast, and it's kind of in that mid-size where pretty much anyone from a tween to an adult rider can ride it. It's a comfortable ride with that suspension, those fat tires, and the soft seat. Overall, really a fan of the Senada Gladiator. It even looks good in white, which is the one we have, and it also comes in black. Hopefully this review was helpful. If there's something else you want to know about this Class 2-3 e-bike, put a question down below. We'd love to hear from you. Good luck and happy riding.